Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crew Talk, the official podcast for Bombers CrossFit, where we build healthy humans. Today we're going to be talking to Jess and Matt about consistency, community, and while every day can't be a PR, every day does actually matter. So if you've ever been in a position where you felt stuck or frustrated or tempted to ego lift your way into progress, then this is probably the episode for you. Let's see what they say. All right, Jess, so we'll start with you. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell us where you grew up, that kind of thing.
Sure. So Jess Luer, I grew up in Buffalo, New York. Lived there most of my life. And then after college, I joined the Air Force, so I've moved around a little bit. I lived in Florida and then the DC area for the last 4 years, and I came to Ohio almost a year ago now.
Okay.
Right before I joined the gym. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So what was your family life like? You have brothers and sisters, or?
I do have one older brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had that great sibling rivalry dynamic.
How much older is he?
He's 3 years, so
Okay.
yeah, just enough to torment me and
Yeah.
a little stronger. So growing up was fun. But yeah,
Okay.
he's still in Buffalo
Really?
with his wife, and they're expecting their first baby soon. So
Oh, that's cool.
We're very excited about that.
What about your parents? What did they do?
My dad worked for the Secret Service and then the ATF.
Okay.
In Buffalo, and then my mom worked in finance before she had the kids, and then she was a stay-at-home mom and did a little bit of substitute teaching.
Okay. So are you big Bills fans? Or?
Yes, big Bills fans.
All right.
More so now that I'm dating Matt, but I'm going to claim it even before I met him,
Yeah.
being from Buffalo. But yeah, this is our year.
I used to drive back and forth from St. Louis, where we're originally from, and I was stationed in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And so we'd go through Buffalo all the time.
Yeah, sorry.
And I remember this house that was by the highway, and his entire roof was painted for Buffalo Bills.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, big fan, big
Yeah.
fandom.
So Matt, did you grow up in Buffalo too, or?
I did, yes. Went to school there as well, started work there, and then eventually moved to DC probably like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And then met Jess in DC, and she dragged me here about a year ago.
He's very happy about it.
What about your family? Did you brothers and sisters, or?
Yeah, I have an older sister. She's 3 years older as well.
Okay.
And yeah, my parents still live there. They're retired now, so they're enjoying that and traveling.
Okay. All right. So what did you do athletically when you were younger? Did you play like the regular kids team sports, that kind of thing, or?
Yeah, so I did softball and volleyball, so mostly softball growing up, and
Okay.
then through middle school and high school, nothing in college or anything like that. I wasn't very good. My brother likes to tell me I'm very fit, but horrible at like athletics, like actual sports, which is accurate because I have zero hand-eye coordination.
It's a coordination thing,
It
right?
is, yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, softball and volleyball, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. What about you?
Growing up, did like t-ball, kids play soccer, and then in high school did hockey, baseball, football, and kind of continued doing hockey up till now too, doing beer league.
Okay. So you joined the Air Force. Did you join the Air Force first, or you went to college first? Or?
I did ROTC,
Okay.
so I picked up my scholarship while I was in high school to pay for college, and then tried it out in college, loved it, stuck with it. So it was a nice way to pay for school. I went to Clarkson University up in Potsdam, New York.
Okay.
It's like as
all
close
right.
to Canada as you can get.
Wow, okay.
It's colder than Buffalo. It was okay. But yeah, I loved the ROTC program, and I loved being in the Air Force, so it worked out pretty well.
What did you major in college?
Chemistry.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'm a chemist now for the Air
That's
Force.
a chemist. Okay. So but what do you actually? I mean,
Yeah, fair question.
what do you actually do? Yeah.
Yeah, so chemists in the Air Force are a little different. Every time you move, your job is totally different. My first position, I did work in a lab for a little bit doing radiochemistry. So a lot of chemists focus on like the chemical, biological, nuclear weapons.
Sure, right.
So defense. So I did some of that, and then a lot of my work has been computer-based chemistry. And then my graduate program was in computational chemistry as well. So like redesigning pesticides to make them safer for humans.
Okay.
So stuff like that. Chemists in the Air Force are also acquisition officers. So we do a lot of program management. So my job here is a program management for Big Safari in the base near here. So
All right.
I really like it. It's different. It's very different than anything I've ever done, but it's going
Big
well
Safari's
so
a
far.
different kind of organization.
Yeah,
Too. Yeah.
I think I'd say it's the coolest program management job you can get, so I'll take it for now.
Yeah. And Matt, where'd you go to school?
I went to university at Buffalo.
Okay.
Computer engineering.
Okay, all right. And then what did you do after that?
Just different software jobs. Eventually made it down to DC for some contracting jobs, and same now.
Mm-hmm. Do you do like what? So what do you do? What do you do?
Just programming languages, building web applications, that kind of stuff.
All right.
All over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
Many different hats.
Okay. And you like it?
It's hit or miss. Some days it's fun, some days it's not. Just gotta power through the bad days and get rewarded with the good ones.
So how long have you been in this career then?
Oh, probably almost 14 years now.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So you're long enough in it that you're in it.
Only 6 more to go.
Yeah. Jess, what about you? How long have you been in the Air Force now?
A little over 8 years.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where else were you stationed then?
So I was at Patrick Air Force Base, now Space Force Base, in the Cocoa Beach area in Florida. Loved that. That was my first
nice,
assignment.
yeah.
Trying to get back there anytime I can. And then grad school, I did George Washington University in the DC area.
Okay.
And then I went to Fort Belvoir in Virginia, the DC area as well.
Okay. All right. So so you guys were both in the DC area when you met, right? Mm-hmm. And you were working out at Orange Theory, is that right?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is Orange Theory? I've seen it a lot. I don't know anything about it.
So it's a group fitness class. So you membership just like CrossFit, and you go in and it's a 60-minute class. There's 3 stations. It's a treadmill, a row, and then floor. So like weightlifting and things like that. And they have a coach there, and they tell you on the microphone exactly what you're doing all the time. So it's usually like 90-second bursts, 30-second bursts of something. The treadmill has different pace levels. So like a comfortable level would be like a base pace, and then a push is like a little more, and then an all out. So they'll tell you kind of what level you should be at. And the Orange Theory talks about the heart rate zone that you're in.
Right.
And the orange zone is where you're burning fat after the workout. So you get hooked up to like a monitor on your watch, and you can see your little score up there, and see you get like splat points. So they kind of gamify it a little bit. And it tells you like where you've spent your time in the heart rate zones for the whole workout. So I really liked that. I did that for about 3 years. It was great. I really liked group fitness classes. I liked being told what to do, because I found I would go to the gym prior to that, but it's hard to be motivated to know exactly what I want to do, or I'd program things just for things I like, and I'd ignore the things I don't like. So I liked being able to go and just, all I had to do was show up, and someone told me what to do, and I got a good workout in. I did that for a couple years, and I really liked it, but towards the end, I felt like cardio wasn't really doing it for me anymore. I was really interested in the strength piece, but their weights only went up so high.
Sure.
And I had a friend who did CrossFit. I had also recently moved and didn't have many friends, and she was talking about how great of a community CrossFit was, and how that's where she met all her friends. So I tried it out in DC, and I met my husband. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out well. So Matt, what were you doing before you started CrossFit?
I mean, I wasn't doing too much, and that was kind of partly the issue. Is I was sitting behind a desk for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Got pretty heavy, and then I was thinking about switching career fields and going into like law enforcement, and so part of that was going to be passing the physical fitness test.
Yep.
And I had a few friends that did CrossFit out of the area, but they talked very highly about it, so I decided to give it a shot. Got hooked. Lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Got pretty strong. Yeah.
So what box did you go to in DC area?
It's called Kingstown, Alexandria.
Okay. All right.
Shout out Kingstown CrossFit.
Everyone join. It's very good if you're in the area.
If you're ever in DC, go visit.
It's a great place.
It is.
Free drop-ins, first class. So.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you remember what your first workout was when you went, or?
I think it was like either like a snatch or deadlift or something like that. Wow. So it was like something that like I'd never really done before, like something I'd never done like Olympic lifting. Prior to going to a box. So that was definitely eye-opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you were afterwards.
You were hooked right off the get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a good community. Everyone was so friendly, and so it's easy to keep going back.
Yeah. Yeah. And so just so you went to CrossFit. Do you remember what your first class was?
Yeah, I did I did a beginner's class. It was catered to. It was like me and 2 other people, and one coach just kind of ran us through. I think it was wall balls, rowing, nothing with a barbell. It was very easy. Sit-ups, I think, was the other thing. So yeah, it was a good intro. But it was during another class, so I could see what everyone else was doing, and I was like, oh, that looks more fun. I would like to get good, so I can do stuff like that.
So, but you were hooked into it.
Oh
in the very
yeah.
beginning?
Yeah. It was great. Even just seeing the first class, what other people were doing, there were things I didn't know. Like I didn't know what half the movements were. It was cool to see that like there's so much more. I'm not going to cap out ever. You know what I mean? There's always something new to learn. Always a new skill. You can always get faster.
You know, that was the thing I liked, because before I started doing CrossFit, I would just go to the gym and I would just kind of like wander around, and I was kind of confused, didn't really know what to do, you know, and I was a little bit bored, and when I went to CrossFit, it was like there were all these new things, and I was not good at any of them.
Exactly.
And so it was like there was like
There's
these
so much room to grow.
goals that I could, you know, I mean, it was like all these new things to try and master, you know, and so that was like what got to me right in the very beginning. So what was do you remember? Was there a moment like I remember getting my first pull up? You know, I remember at my first class, because when I used to go to the gym, I would do pull ups, but I would only do like where I would hang about 3 inches down and do little pull ups like that, you know. And I thought I was doing real pull ups. And so at my first class, she was like, "Hey, can you do a pull up?" And I said, "Yeah, I can do like 30, you know." And so I get on the bar and I'm like this, and she's like, "No, hang all the way." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "No, all the way." And I was like, "All right." And she's like, "No, all the way."
I'm doing it.
I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Now pull up." And I was like,
like, oh, that's hard.
so I remember then when I was able to get a pull up like that, I felt really good.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything like that?
Yeah, I think for me it was toes to bar. That was something, I don't know, for some reason, I thought that was the coolest thing. I would watch people do toes to bar and I was like, that looks really cool. I want to do that. And they were really hard for me to get.
Yeah.
It was not super easy, and I feel like I worked on it really hard, because when I was new, just like you were saying, there was so much stuff I wanted to learn. I was like, well, I want to learn handstand. I want to learn all this stuff. And I didn't have the time to practice every single one every single day.
Yeah.
And I think for my first couple months, I was trying to do that. I was trying to do everything every day, and I was getting good at nothing. And so someone was like, how about you just pick one thing and actually work on it and master it and keep going? So I think toes to bar was my first one that I actually did that for. So I felt like I worked hard for it, and I got the first one, and I was so excited. And I think it was like days before my first open, and the first workout had 50 toes to bar. It was like some crazy number, and we do Friday night lights at our gym too.
Yeah.
And they had picked like 2 members. It was like a new member and like, I don't know, someone else, to do it in front of everyone. So I had to do it in front of everyone, and I had like 2 days before just gotten toes to bar. And I'm trying to do like 40 toes to bar. Right. And I've got someone on my team yelling like, do sets, because I was doing singles. I didn't know how to connect them. I could I could do 1 toes to bar. And I was like, I'm going to do 40 singles. So like, just leave me alone. And I was so proud of it. But yeah, so probably that one for me.
Yeah. Matt, what about you? Did you master the snatch at the first class, or?
I'm sure it was like an empty bar, and I probably hit myself in the head a few times. But the one that comes to my mind is probably bar muscle up. I think that was probably the one that took the longest, so it was probably the most rewarding when I finally got to get over the bar.
Yeah. That is one that it's, you see people that get really close to it, but it's just you got to click. It's got to get that kind of, there's a coordination to it, you know, that's just got to happen right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with stringing together toes to bar. I remember I was so proud of doing toes to bar, and I could only do singles, you know. And Greg was like, you know, you should be able to do like 5 in a row. And I was like,
Greg.
yeah, I know. I was
yes,
like,
Greg, thank you.
Yeah, well, you know. But then he told me, he said, well, stop trying to do toes to bar, okay, and just get the rhythm. Okay, and when you've got the rhythm mastered, then start doing toes to bar again. Yeah. And he was right about that. Yeah. It did work.
Unfortunately, Greg's usually right.
So that kind of goes into the patience of things, you know, because like when you see all of this stuff that you want to do, it's like all of these new toys, you can't play with every one of them, you know. So how do you kind of focus yourself and stay patient to really work at it, or to work at like one thing or something?
That's very hard for me. I'll say I'm definitely a perfectionist, and I'm very much like, if this isn't coming fast, it's my fault and I suck and I can't do it anymore. So that's probably something that CrossFit has taught me, is that things aren't always going to come easy, and I have to actually actively work on the things that I don't want to do. So I've been trying to add that. For example, bar muscle ups. I mean, I kind of had them a year ago, and I feel like I still just kind of like, they're all chicken wings, they're all bad, and it's still like that, and it's very frustrating, but it comes and goes. I feel like sometimes I'm disciplined for a month, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to focus on this and do it.
Right.
And then if I don't see the progress, I'm human. I get down on myself, and I'm like, I'm never doing these again. The chicken wing is fine. So I'm still working on it 3 years in, but I think it's a good lesson that CrossFit helps teach me.
CrossFit definitely humbles you from time to time.
I'm humbled daily.
Yeah, but that's healthy.
It is.
It really
I'm
is,
not gonna lie. I need it.
I
definitely. Yeah, I think it's a great lesson every day.
But patience is hard. I've got a video of in the open maybe the first year I did the open. I think it was the first year I did the open. You had to do like 30 snatches at 75 pounds, and then I think it was 20 snatches at 135. So it went from 75 to 135. So I did the 75, no problem. But 135. So I got the 75 done pretty quickly. It was like a 7-minute time cap, and I had like 4 minutes left to do just one snatch at 135. And so for 4 minutes, I made like 50 attempts, all fails, and it was this whole crowd of people standing around me, and they're all like cheering and chanting my name, and it's like, no,
not on the cards.
And so I've got a video on my phone of the one day that I did snatch 135.
Nice.
It's like a treasured artifact to me.
Send it out to all those people watching you. You got it.
Yeah. Actually, I got it in slow motion too, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice.
But so what about you, man? What's something that's kind of like stung on you?
What do you mean, stung?
Like something that a challenge that you had to kind of go after, and maybe you got, but maybe you struggled with.
Injuries, maybe?
Yes.
Injuries.
Yes. And not taking care of them properly.
So in high school, I dislocated my shoulder playing football.
Okay.
And it's been like a chronic injury ever since. So I've been dealing with it probably for like 13 years.
Still not fixed. Still hasn't gone to the doctor.
But
I need doctors out there, please.
So that's kind of something that's I've been dealing with, because like I actually just dislocated again recently.
Really?
2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, playing hockey.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of like dialing it back at the gym, making sure I'm doing proper movements that aren't going to like re-injure it and stuff like that. So like today we were doing bar muscle ups, and I decided to sit that one out. But
See, that's smart, So, sometimes I need that, because there are times when the appeal is just too much,
Yeah, I think that's some good self-control to like know your limits. I think I struggle with that too, of like, I can power through, I can do this, but sometimes it's like, what? Like, at the point of hurting yourself, it's probably not worth it, and I think you're better at knowing your limits than me.
The thing I had to learn the hard way was just because you get warmed up and your muscles loosen, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's still a good movement for you to do. Sometimes it's just you kind of like dull it down a little bit, and then you could really damage yourself. So so trying to kind of keep that in check is good. So good on you for not doing bar muscle ups today then.
Yeah. It would have been painful.
I would have heard about it later, probably.
Yeah. I did chest to bars this morning, and so I was talking to Kiwi because I'm dealing with this shoulder issue that I've got, and she's like, well, do you think you should have done pull-ups? And I said, hey, I was able to string my chest to bars together. And she's like, do you think you should have done that? And I was like, well, I don't know. I hadn't really thought of it that way.
But I did it.
So, I don't know. So let's. You mentioned something in one of your responses beforehand about ego lifting. What do you define that as?
So I will say I think I did that more at Kingstown than I do here, because we would do like there we would do a lift before the WOD. So there was always lifting of some sort. And they write it with percentages that you're supposed to stick to. 75% of your 1 rep max, whatever. And I rarely listened to that, and every day had to be a PR. And if I'd see other people lifting more than me, or see what they put in the in the score. I'd have to try to match that or beat it. Still do that sometimes, I think that's normal. It's human, but every day is not normal. Every day can't be a PR day, and so I have learned that. I've been humbled many times by either not being able to lift as much as I thought, or doing it and then feeling it the next day and being like, that probably wasn't smart, because now I've ruined the rest of my workouts for that week because I can't move my arms or my legs. So
that is one of the traps to CrossFit. Early on you get a lot of PRs, and they come pretty frequently. And then after a while, they don't anymore.
I know, it's a sad day.
But it makes them more special when they do come.
It does.
But
yeah, it's a mind shift for sure.
I had a coach when I first started. I was out on the base, and he said to me one day, count your own damn bar. Okay, because he saw me looking at everybody else's bars, and he was like, just count your own bar.
Yep.
And I was like, that's good advice.
It's good advice.
Yeah. So I'm generally, if I can lift within 10% of what the girls lift, then I'm pretty happy with that. So let's talk a little bit about nutrition and performance. What have you learned in those regards?
You want to go first?
So we did a nutrition program at our old gym. It was like 3-month program, and it was through RP. So we had like tables that we had to follow about like what kind of different food groups that we could eat, and like kind of macros, and counting our fats, our proteins, vegetables, and it was a good learning experience, because like beforehand, like I wasn't even keeping track of like any of that stuff. I wasn't very aware of it. So going through that, you can actually like feel the difference. Like you sleep better, you slim down, you get stronger. Like it's definitely like an experiment that like you can see results from. So it's easy to like continue on after it's done with. So
you said in the beginning that when you started CrossFit, you'd lost some weight. Okay, how did you do that then?
I think
was it just working out?
Cardio, because I was not doing much cardio beforehand. I was like playing hockey like once a week, and that wasn't cutting it. So then like actually like hitting the orange or red zone every day, just about like getting the good sweat. That was a good way to lose a lot of weight. And then like finding the nutrition later on was like kind of like broke the plateau that I was probably in, and found like a new like level kind of.
Yeah, where you really begin to kind of fuel yourself for your workout. So what do you do now? Do you guys track macros, or what do you?
So at least for me, I don't do it as strictly. I really enjoyed going through that nutrition program to get more of an idea of just like, before that I had no idea what like grams of food looked like in my like mentally, or like a handful of oatmeal, what that looks like. But I will say, and
don't know what a handful of oatmeal looks like.
For the record, I was doing the cut program. There was like a cut and a muscle build.
Okay.
So like I was trying to lose weight, but I do think that tracking it so carefully did give me a little bit of an unhealthy relationship. So it was pros and cons. I did really like understanding what foods fueled me, when I should eat them based on when I was working out, how to kind of have a better mental picture of what my protein goal looks like and what that does for me. But I will say the cutting of the foods and feeling like I had to be restrictive was hard for me. And before that, I really never weighed myself. But obviously part of the program to see progress is weighing yourself. And so that I think was another mental level, especially being a female and just, everything that goes on with that. So that was hard. So I try not to, I'm not on that program anymore, and I try not to count calories or anything like that, but I'm definitely more aware of, I do try to hit my protein goal. I do try to focus my meals around protein, less carbs than maybe I used to eat when I didn't even know, what a proper portion looked like, and try to focus on vegetables and fruits and things like that. So, I think I'm doing much better, and I feel healthier about it. I feel like I have a purpose, but I'm not, super strict on counting everything and trying to make sure that my mental health is still good with that as well.
That's a huge component of nutrition. It's just like you said, that you've got to allow yourself not to get a PR every time you lift. It's the same thing with nutrition, and that can be really tough.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself a lot of grace in situations like that. Yeah, we were talking about this today because, the FDA put out a new food pyramid, and
Looks very similar.
I saw this poster and it says eat real food, and I was saying, just that alone, if all you do is just eat natural food, and if you kind of like lean towards getting more protein and less of other things, just that is a huge step forward, So, I mean, it can make such a difference, in like your health markers and different things like that, just a little bit of weight, so.
Yeah, and also just fueling for your workout. Like, instead of thinking it as restrictive, you're using good foods so that you can perform better. I think that was like a big mental shift for me to stop being restrictive and understand that's what's allowing you to work out well.
I think I used to believe, because people used to say, well, you got a carb load before a workout or something, and so I always thought that I had to get carbs. And one thing I learned about, because I do track my macros, I learned that actually I need protein. A little bit of protein about 30 minutes before I do a workout helps me out. And so if I get a protein shake or a protein bar or something like that, but about 30 minutes before a workout, I just tend to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
So.
And that's huge, just to know what your body needs specifically to feel its best when you're working out. That's what I love about CrossFit, about all the nutrition stuff, is it is person-based, and it allows you to figure it out for yourself. Having all this knowledge is going to make you more efficient in whatever you need specifically.
Yeah. I've known a lot of people that do the intermittent fasting, and it works really well for them. It doesn't work very well for me.
You tried it, right?
I can do it on occasion.
I
can go through a whole day without eating and being
That's
like,
wild.
I didn't eat anything today.
I need to eat all the time.
We're very different in that regard.
It's just like, I tried paleo for a while, and I tried all of those different things. And what I found is, if I deny myself, then that my body does not react well to that.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to have a dish of ice cream, I can have a small dish of ice cream and just have it, okay? And then accept it and own that, Otherwise, it's just not a healthy place for me. So.
Exactly.
So what would you say to people listening, and if they come in and they feel like they're in a juncture in their fitness where they're making slow progress? They feel like maybe I've hit a little bit of a plateau, and the PRs aren't coming like I would like them to be.
Well, nutrition, like we just said, and then also focus on sleep, I think is a big one.
Yeah.
I know I'm a bit of a night owl, and probably playing hockey doesn't help, because our ice time is like from either starts at like 9:30 or 11 p.m. So I'll be up playing hockey till like 1 a.m.
Wow.
And then I'd get up at like 6 a.m. the next morning. But kind of focusing on getting like a solid 8 hours, and getting like a good routine where your rhythm, what's it called? Circadian
rhythm. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, sleep is huge. Yeah, it really is. It's just like, rest. I mean, you've got to let your body repair from what you're doing, What about, so if you had a chance to talk to yourself on day one, what would you say? That's a tough question.
It is. I think I'd just say, you're going to love it. Keep going.
I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, CrossFit has been a huge part of my life. I feel like it's made me a lot more confident. It's made me more excited to move my body and to understand how to be a healthy human. And it's fun. I enjoy it. I never thought I'd have this much fun working out. I love learning the new skills. So yeah, I just tell myself to stick with it. Like you said, every day isn't going to be a PR day. And when you're in those plateaus, consistency is what matters. So just, push through, keep going. Every day, every month, every year can't be growth. As long as you keep going, you're still getting somewhere, even if you're not seeing the numbers jump as high as you used to.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're not doing the movements that you hate, then you should do them.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I did the echo bike today.
Hey, that's great. For me, it's always double unders,
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, guys, is there anything that I should have asked you about that I didn't ask you about, or?
I don't think so.
So you're here in the Air Force. Do you know how long you're going to be here? Or?
I should be here another 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
So yeah, we like Dayton. We got a house here, so we're settled. I'm not gonna lie, I had low expectations for Dayton, Ohio, but right now, well, maybe not in January, but overall, I'm really enjoying it. So
Hey, the winters here aren't as bad as Buffalo.
That's
true, but I also don't like Buffalo. I like Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, hey, it was great talking to you, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Good
Awesome.
time.